Well, hello, friends, and welcome to Strolling with Sarah Jo. I'm so glad that you were here today and that you were choosing to take a few minutes and just listen to the randomness that I have to share with you today. Today, something that's really been on my heart the last little bit has been embrace the suck. And I know that that's going to be probably odd. And as I shared that with a few people, they're kind of looking at me like, really, Sarah? Embrace the suck? Yes, because I feel like sometimes we just need to know that that's okay and it's going to happen. Like, gosh, it seems like such a negative and defeatist statement. But I've really come to learn that it really isn't. Even though the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, that sounds negative. But after going through some hard seasons and some seasons that just kind of sucked, I've kind of just learned to appreciate it for what it is. There are going to be times that are not fun and they seem to suck, but it's about how we face those situations, those times. That's what matters, is how we face it. Do we run screaming because we feel like life should be easier, or do we just don't want to deal with that and so we want to run? I mean, like, let's be real. Who wants to deal with any of that? Who wants to deal with the hard? Who wants to deal with things when they feel like they just suck? Nobody. In case you're wondering. Nobody wants to deal with those seasons. Or instead of running for the hills and just being like, nope, not happening, do we use it to strengthen and build us? Because we know that it's just going to be a part of our journey. There are going to be hard seasons in our journey. It doesn't matter what that journey is or what part of life, there are going to be hard seasons, and that's okay. So sometimes one of the things I feel like I've been learning in this process is sometimes like the joys wouldn't mean as much if there wasn't some of the suck to compare it to. If there weren't those hard seasons to compare it to, I don't know if I would appreciate the joys as much as I do. I want to think that I would, but honestly, I might not, because I wouldn't value them as much as I do because of the hard seasons I've gone through. See, when we are in that season of life, I just see that statement for what a beautiful one that it is. And that sounds really silly, and I'm sure that I have family and friends that are laughing at me like, seriously. But just because we're in the suck of whatever, it doesn't mean that we have to be void of joy. We have to be void of gratefulness or good things. Like, we don't have to just not have those because things are hard. Yeah, I mean, it's hard and that's okay. And I think that's a statement we need to remind ourselves of, like, hard is okay. And it's okay to acknowledge that we are in a hard season, or that something is difficult or sucks. We need to stop pretending that everything's hunky-dory all the time. You know, like, if you know me, like, I'm not gonna fake it for you. I'm probably gonna tell you, like, today is rough. I'm living on a prayer today. If I'm having one of those days, it needs to be okay, because that's when we can support one another. Hard doesn't mean that it's the end, and it doesn't mean that it's complete devastation. It just means it's hard. It doesn't mean that you're being super negative. It just means you're acknowledging that it is hard. But the good news is it doesn't stop there. Just because something's hard, that's not the end of the journey. That's not the end of the story. Somewhere along the way, we got the idea that we shouldn't or wouldn't have to deal with the hard. But that's just not true. It's just life. It's a part of life. There will be hard things. And I tell my youngest all the time, you can do hard things. And so, friend, I tell you now, you can do hard things. I tell myself, I can do hard things. Hard seasons suck, but we can make them through. Like, we can make it through them. How we deal with these hard seasons, or how we deal with the suck, really says a lot about us. So think hard about what is your hard right now. Think hard about what is your hard. I heard that too. Think about what's your hard. Think about what's the suck right now. Where are you tripping up? Where are you getting stuck in this? It's okay to acknowledge it, learn from it, reflect on it, but then see the beauty surrounding you. Maybe there's a friendship that is being foraged or cultivated through that hard. Maybe there's joy people are experiencing around you, and maybe you can celebrate with them their joys and that bring your joy. Maybe it's the way you come out on the other side and knowing that it's a season and it's a time, but it's not forever. And there will be a time where you come out on the other side and you will have growth and you will have knowledge from it and you will have grown as a person and you will be better. You will be able to help others as they face that hard, whatever that hard may be for you. Yes, it sucks to be in the suck. But there's also beauty as you learn and as you walk through it. Don't lose sight of that. Don't lose sight of, although the moment and the time is difficult, the season is hard, there's joy coming. There's the other side coming. And I think that's the struggle, is when we are in that season, we are in that time, it's really hard sometimes to see the other side. I encourage you, if you are in that season right now, or you are in that struggle, whether it be in home life or school or work or your business or whatever it is, tell someone. Because for some reason, when you share that you're struggling with another person, somebody you trust, somebody that's going to be there for you, if you could share with them, somehow shedding that light on the fact that you're struggling, shedding that light on the fact that it is a season of hard, lightens the load a little. So I challenge you that if you're in your season of suck, embrace the suck. Don't live in it, but embrace it. Acknowledge that it's going to help you in the long run somehow, that you can grow from it and go from a growth mindset as you continue through. Tell somebody, share with somebody that that's how you feel, that that's where you're at. Allow them to pour into you. Allow them to speak life into you. Look, if you don't have a circle that's speaking life into you when you tell them stuff like I'm struggling, if you don't have a circle that's speaking life back into you, find a new circle. Find a new circle, because you need people that will pour and breathe life into you. And when you have somebody comes to you and says, hey, I'm really struggling, like I feel like I'm in a season of suck, rally around them, pour into them, be there for them however you can. I'm getting long-winded. But I hope that this helped you, encouraged you, challenged you in some way. Don't lose sight of the beauty that can be learned even in the hard seasons, of the growth that can happen as you walk through those hard seasons. I hope that you have a wonderful day. And again, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to just spend a few minutes with me. We'll see you next time.